Welcome back. We've really missed you. Come on in. It's dark, so be careful. Let me get the lights.
Hey, who's there?
Bob Cohen? Is that you? What are you doing here?
Oh, hi, Pamela. I guess I fell asleep. Too much champagne, I think. I never could handle it. Where's everyone? Is it time to go home?
Bob, what are you saying? Are you saying that you have been here since March 7th?
What are you talking about? What day is it? What's with the mask?
It's November 21st. The whole world has been shut down because of COVID-19.
Oh, get real. You're joshing me. I'm heading home.
No, Bob, really. We had to shut down the theater. We're in the middle of a pandemic. In fact, we're calling it the Long Intermission. And right now, millions of people are watching us on YouTube.
You mean they're watching us right now?
Yeah, so smile.
Oh, God, look at my beard. That's a lot more than a 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah, Bob, I'm really sorry that we had to shut down the cemetery club, but hopefully when we can all get back in here safely, we'll give it another run.
Oh, that's terrific. Show's great, isn't it?
When we can all get back in here safely, we'll give it another run.
Oh, that's terrific. Show's great, isn't it? Jesus, this place is a mess. Everything's covered with dust and spider webs. Yuck! Well, I'm straightening up a bit. Why don't we show these fine people some images from the show? Pretty good, huh, folks? Hey, Pamela, guess what? When we reopen, the Cemetery Club will become the longest running show in Mendocino Theatre Company history. Maybe more than a year. I want a bonus.
Right, Bob. Live from Mendocino, California, it's Mendocino Theatre Company's The Long Intermission with guest artists Gloriana Musical Theater, Mendocino Dance Project, Flynn Creek Circus, Hit and Run Theater, and Bill Irwin. And now, our hosts, Dan Kozloff and Lisa Norman.
And welcome to Mendocino Theatre Company's production, The Long Intermission. Sorry for that brief delay. The internet went out at home base and we had to move location 10 minutes before showtime. I'm Lisa Norman, a longtime supporter of the Mendocino Theatre Company since my first show in 1997. I'm pleased to be one of your co-hosts for this 90-minute virtual online celebration of the fine talent that you've been missing and I've been missing since this pandemic began. Included in this evening is not only artists from MTC, but Gloriana, Flynn Creek, Mendocino Dance Project, Hit and Run Theater, and some very special guests. So please take a seat and enjoy this performance. Here with me now to tell us about who's up first in our lineup is the ever-talented actor, director, and teacher, Dan Kozloff.
Thank you, Lisa. Yes, I've been involved with MTC since 1984, a very, very long time. Ooh, there's a picture of me in a play from the 80s as an unhappy husband with an unhappy wife, a common subject of these plays. In any case, one thing that we're doing tonight is our director asked the public in general, what does MTC mean to you? What does it mean to you to have this little theater in this town? And we got a lot of very interesting answers. And here are the first ones.
Hi, I'm Nancy Bartka, and I'm so grateful to the Mendocino Theatre Company for keeping their doors open in a remote fashion for us frustrated actors to participate in some productions. I was fortunate enough to be in American Gothic, which broadcast in early November on KZYX. Also, I was one of the playwrights for their 1-minute radio theater. And my mom has been a season ticket holder and loves live theater and really looks forward to when it returns in Mendocino.
Hi. Why do I love the MTC? What does the MTC mean to me? It's a home away from home. It's a place where big ideas can be explored in a small community. And it's a place of opportunity, a place where if you want to do something, if you want to try something out, if you want to direct a play, design a play, do costumes, act, or just immerse yourself into some shows, you can do it. They'll give you a chance. And it's not just a place to entertain big musicals. They actually care about plays. They care about ideas, and they care about its people in the community and the people at large. Like I said, it's a home away from home.
I'm Cassandra Young. Theater's amazing. It's a huge part of the community. It's the backbone. We are an artist community, and what's an artist community without theater? So please support the continuation of the lifeblood of this community, and keep my father and husband busy, please.
Tonight is a fun entertainment, but another thing that it is a sort of telethon. We're going to give you opportunities to donate tonight. Now, as you know, for all nonprofits, fundraising is very important, because even if we filled every seat, we would not have enough money to make our payments. Well, as most of you have noticed, since March, we haven't filled any seats at all. And yet we're still paying our insurance and our rent and all the other expenses that we have. We do want to announce that people have been donating since this pandemic began. We're starting this broadcast having raised $2,450. And we'll tell you how significant that is later in terms of a matching grant. There are 3 ways of donating. One is to call our box office manager, Carolyn Bonfield, who is in the box office now. And that number is 707-937-4477. 707-937-4477. She's going to be there throughout the show. And it would be very sad if the phone didn't ring. And it's a fun, easy way to donate. Call with your credit card. Or at some point, you can send a check to MTC. It's Post Office Box 800, Mendocino, 95460. Or you can donate online at our company website, which is mendocinotheatre.org. I do want to assure everybody that even though it looks like Lisa and I, who are not part of a pod, are sitting right next to each other in the same place, we are actually in our own homes. And every aspect of this production has been done COVID safe. And now, Lisa will introduce our next act.
Yes, coming up next is a special company that I have a fond place in my heart for, Gloriana. It was actually the second company I got to work with on the coast. And they are a wonderful company that started the same time as Mendocino Theatre Company, some 40 years ago in 1977. So let's enjoy something from Gloriana, followed by a look back into MTC history with one of the oldest living members of the company, Sandra Hawthorne.
Yes, my name is Rosie. I'm famous and wonderful, and everybody loves me and wants to be me. Who could blame them? I'm really Rosie, and I'm Rosie B. You better believe me, I'm really big. Believe
Hi, I'm Jim Tarbell,
And I'm Judy Tarbell.
and it's so nice to be with you here today to extol the virtues of the Mendocino Theatre Company, which we've enjoyed for over 30 years. And it's so important to the community to be able to see such consequential stories put on by such talented people.
So I give you my heartfelt thanks, the entire Mendocino Theatre Company family, for your years of hard work and your dedication to local theater, and for your incredible creativity and talent. Thanks so much.
MTC was the backbone of one of the happiest points of my life. I'm Adam David Jones. And maybe when I die and go to heaven, I'll be back on that stage. I hope someday I can be as happy as I was with all my friends there. Thanks.
Good evening. I'm Kay Handley, president of the Mendocino Theater Board. And I'd like to take a minute to tell you why I got involved with the theater. I just moved here only recently, a few years ago, but I've been coming here to Mendocino for many years as a tourist. In fact, for 20 years, I never knew there was a theater here. By the way, kudos to the Alegria innkeepers for first mentioning it to me. I was living in New York City at the time, and an avid theater goer there. So I was very interested to learn that there was a theater that I could attend here. I didn't quite know what to expect from such a small town. I saw that they were showing A Normal Heart, a deeply moving play about the early days of the AIDS epidemic in New York City. Now, I had seen this play in New York, and frankly, I was a little hesitant to come and see it here because I wasn't sure if the experience might suffer a little by comparison. But in fact, I was surprised. I found that I was more moved by the performance here than I had been in New York. And I realized that the reason for that is the intimacy of this theater. 75 seats. Everyone here can see the expression on the actor's face and can feel their emotions and feel the reactions in the audience. Now, you don't get that in these arena-sized theaters in New York City. So a few years later, when I decided to move here, I was looking forward to the tranquility and the natural beauty of this place. But I also knew that I wouldn't have to give up the cultural experience that I so loved in New York. Because of the theater and the other performing arts organizations here, we truly can have it all. Now that I've become more involved with the theater board, I appreciate even more how much we rely on the generosity of our donors to survive. And I'd like to take a moment now to acknowledge one of those donors. A local couple who have asked to remain anonymous, have very generously offered to match up to $5,500. And if we fully utilize this generous offer, the theater will receive $11,000, a very meaningful sum to us. So I'd like to thank all of our wonderful donors and patrons, and let the show go on.
Hello, my name is Steve Jordan, and I have a great passion for the theater because I enjoy performing. So I would like to extend special thanks, many, many thanks, to the Gloriana Musical Theater and to the Mendocino Theatre Company for kindly providing me with so many performance opportunities. Even though I can't always sing and dance that well. It's true. Watch. See what I mean? But thank you for supporting these two wonderful theatrical organizations.
I'm a production manager, a set designer, and lighting designer. Started working with a company a couple years ago, and it's great fun getting back into small theater for me because the small space and the limited budgets and time and resources means you got to whittle down to what's really important in every single play. And you just got to worry about the essentials and make that work. And I've been having a lot of fun doing that. So it means a lot working here to me. So thanks.
I love this theater. I love being on stage. I love working with all of these wonderful people, the designers, the directors. It's such a collaborative process. And we do some great theater. I don't know what I would do without Mendocino Theatre Company.
Yes, it is I, Sandra Hawthorne, the oldest living member of the Mendocino Theatre Company. And I'm wearing the dress I wore in our very first opening season in 1977 for the play Candida by Shaw. After 1972, when the theater was built and which dreamed it was done, and 1977, when we incorporated, actually 76, as a company, Mendocino Theatre Company, we began doing at least 5 or 6 productions a year, a season, we'll say. And this painting, for instance, was done by Diane Larson, one of our most wonderful members of the company. She did this painting of Shiva and Parvati and their offspring, who was known as the god Ganesh. And it was for production of The Perfect Ganesh. I'd like to show you one of the earliest posters from the time before we opened in 1977. This is one of the productions, the Three-Penny Opera. Here we have Donovan Holtz. Donovan Holtz was, like everybody else, a real artist, and he painted this picture. This is a painting, not a photograph, of himself as Elwood Dowd in Harvey, the play Harvey, about the big rabbit, the big white rabbit. And here is Donovan on the set looking up at his portrait, which he painted. But of course, admiring Elwood is admiring his friend Harvey, the big white rabbit. Donovan took our tech room and made it into the most beautiful, orderly, clean space it ever saw. And he would do the rehearsal room when we finally got one. He would paint the floor. He just was a powerhouse. And this is the doorway to the inner sanctum. I'll see you there. Welcome to my inner sanctum, or my archive room, or my, let's see, a jumble room, our junk room, our attic. But this is where all of, almost all of my memorabilia from 50 years in the theater, in the local theater, lives. Here behind me is a wall of scripts. Most of these books are scripts, and down here are reference things. But also over there we have costume books. We have books about directing, books about acting, books about costume, period costume, a treasure trove of books, and some out there. This is just overflowing into the rest of the house. I want to read my conclusion because I want to get it right, and my teleprompter is on the fritz. I hope that you've enjoyed this COVID homemade rush down memory lane, and thanks to Cassandra Young for recording it. Voltaire said, "The best way to be boring is to leave nothing out." But I have had to leave out about just about everything because of time constraints. How fun to open some of the production envelopes, to share some of Mary's scrapbooks and wonderful photographs and my poster collection, and to tell you about them and 50 years of local theater. Perhaps you have gleaned a bit of an idea about how hard we work and how many of us it takes to produce a show. How fleeting is the memory of all those people on whose shoulders these companies like Gloriana and Mendocino Theatre Company have been built. All will appreciate your dollars to keep the theater flourishing in this coastal area. Good night and thanks for watching.
This was me when I was 13. I was an intern, a stagehand, a stage manager. This is the first video I made for MTC. This was the first trailer I made for MTC in 2016. Making these trailers helped me discover my artistic style as a cinematographer at a very early age. These are the last 5 years at MTC. Our next generation of young artists are already hard at work. We can't wait to see what they create. Thank you, MTC, for being my first client.
Hi, I'm Ricky Didola.
And I'm Sherry Glazer.
And we want to tell you a story about the Mendocino Theatre Company and how it brought us together.
Yeah, we met
in the audience at the Mendocino Theater Company seeing the play Gaslight.
Directed by my husband, Stephen Didola. Just,
And of course, we went out afterwards to Patterson's to
Yes.
have, the traditional after theater
fair. And you said you needed a director.
Yeah.
I said, I am a director. And 6 months later, we were on Broadway together?
Yeah.
Me directing,
like that.
you performing. That quick. Yeah. That quick. We took New York by storm, straight from Mendocino.
Yeah, one show.
One show each.
And we won Best Avant-Garde in the United Solo Festival in 2015.
Yep.
Because we met at the Mendocino Theater Company.
That's right.
And not only is it the sweetest little theater, the audiences in Mendocino. We miss you.
We do. We miss you. We'll see you soon.
We'll see you soon, okay? Promise?
Hi, I'm Larry Wagner. I've been the photographer for the Mendocino Theater Company for the past 15 years, and it's given me a great vantage point to enjoy this theater. What a great group. What great shows. What great seasons. Let's get this pandemic over with. I really, really miss attending the galas at the Mendocino Theater Company.
Isn't it wonderful to see everyone in the flashbacks from the past and share how much they love the theater, because I love the theater and I really miss performing as much as everyone here today. We want to share with you also that the donations do matter, and there is a CARES Act that provides benefits for charitable giving. So even if you don't itemize your deductions on your taxes, you can still donate and reduce your 2020 taxes up to $300 per individual or per joint return. So Dan, do we have an update on the latest, what has transpired since this great show has begun?
We do. Our total now seems to stand at $8,580, which is great, especially when you think of how it's going to be matched at the end of the month. So there's time to do more donations. And now let me present something physical. I'm going to stand up a little bit. Maybe Lisa will too. You notice we are wearing Long Intermission t-shirts. These are for sale as a fundraiser. Long Intermission, of course, relates to the theater, but everybody in any circumstance is having a long intermission because of the pandemic. And so it's a good time to wear a t-shirt recognizing that. You'll notice that the art is by our own Mervyn Gilbert, and it's an organic t-shirt, and you get it from this company that cooperates with nonprofits like ours. The address will be on the screen in a moment, and you can shop for clothes and donate at the same time. Well, you will see it. And our next segment now, as we've said, theater is a cooperation between all kinds of people. We have actors, costumers, vocal coaches, playwrights. And now Ginny Reed is going to focus on directing at MTC. Go, Ginny.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for being our audience this evening. This is Ginny Reed from Mendocino Theater Company. One of the many things I like about MTC is that the company strives to produce plays which are unique and fresh. Plays depicting characters who are grappling with themes and ideas which are universal, but are especially pertinent to our own current times. We've invited 3 of the directors from recent seasons to chat with us about their productions. Stephanie Cunningham is joining us from New York, where she is the Senior Drama Curriculum Specialist at the Juilliard School. Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, Ginny. I'm so happy to be with you all.
Thank you. We've been fortunate to have you with us as a guest artist 4 times at Mendocino Theater, directing very popular contemporary plays, Buyer and Seller, Vanya, Sonia, Masha, and Spike, The Flick, and in the 2018 season, Bull in a China Shop, written by Brinna Turner, an exciting young playwright whom we were especially delighted to feature because she is originally from Fort Bragg. Stephanie, please share with us some elements of the play and of your production.
I had so much fun working on this play at MTC. Turner's amazing play created a world where the modern woman in 2018 and in 2020 can look back on the 20th century and see women taking charge of their lives, education, and love. It's something both in Marx and Woolley's time and in our time could be viewed as a radical act. And our job with the production in 2018 at MTC was to mesh the world of the historic landscape of Marx and Woolley, the modern pacing and comedy that Turner brought to the table, and also wanting the audience to immediately recognize these main characters as revolutionaries in the context of their time and place. So it was a true queering of history in the best sense of the word. And so to accomplish that, the designers and I talked a great deal about how to accent the clothing with anachronistic renegade items, how we could create a musical landscape that spanned from Marx and Woolley's time all the way to 2018 that celebrated queer and femme identities, and a set design that could move at the rapid pace of this life and language as it spans decades throughout the play. Today, I think this play has such important significance. As we look back on figures in history with queer and a feminist lens, we can see major figures that had to leave behind a part of their identity to exist in our historical canon, or how we celebrate progress, or that they were erased entirely because of who they were. And in 2020, I think it's a big job for this country to examine itself and how it chose to reframe historical events and sanitize people and erase parts of their identities. Bull in the China Shop chose to celebrate those identities and explore it in a modern and really comedic way. And I was thrilled to get my hands on the piece and get to work with the whole team at MTC.
Well, we were thrilled to have you here, Stephanie. Thank you so much. Let's have a look at the trailer created by Alice Williams for Brenna Turner's Bull in a China Shop.
Whenever you're ready. You got that on camera? Yeah.
Okay.
Beautiful. That's quiet on set.
I play Mary Woolley, and she is the president of Mount Holyoke's University in the early 1900s, like late 1800s, early 1900s, when it was kind of still transferring from a seminary into a university for women. This is the story of Mary Woolley, my character, and Jeanette Marks as their love story, really. They're lovers, and it's their love story as it goes through 40 years. My character is very strong. She's the title of the play, Bull in a China Shop, is sort of what they describe her as. So she herself feels she is a revolution.
Hi, I play Jeanette Marks, who was a writer, an author, and a professor at Mount Holyoke. She didn't want to start out at Mount Holyoke, but she did, and it's because of her long life partner, Mary Woolley, who she had a very beautiful romance. I see her as a modern voice from back in the day.
Hi, I play Felicity, and Felicity is a philosophy professor and Jeanette Marks' sweet pea roommate. I feel Felicity represents what the movement and suffrage is all about. She's fierce, ready to protest, and has her eye on the bigger picture.
Hi, my character is Dean Welsh. She takes a stand, but it's always behind somebody else. The trustees think, the great they, rather than I. But I think there's a part of her that's kind of afraid to come out for that, for somebody like President Woolley, who breaks all the boundaries and breaks through everything.
So Pearl is a young student at Mount Holyoke who is desperately in love with Miss Marks, but also the president of a fan club devoted to Miss Marks and Woolley's relationship. So she is caught in this horrible tug of war between her love of Marks and her love of Marks's relationship with another woman.
Our next director, Catherine Nye, is a proud Arizona and U.S.-Mexican border native. She is the host and producer of My Year Without a Man, a podcast about women in the fields of theater and performance. Welcome, Kathy.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Virtually, that's terrific.
Yes.
In MTC's 2019 season, you directed a new English language translation of They Don't Pay, We Won't Pay, the classic and hilarious political farce from one of Italy's most beloved playwrights, Nobel Prize laureate Dario Fo. The play's madcap antics highlight the plight of ordinary Italian workers during the economic crises of the 1970s. Kathy, what are some of the many aspects of the play and of your production which pose questions or problems that resonate for contemporary audiences.
So I feel that sadly, a play that was written in the 70s, which at this point is 50 years ago, should not feel so prescient. I would hope that we would change more than that, but unfortunately we haven't. Police brutality is in the play, and again, that is a theme that has become even more at the forefront of people's minds. The issue of the profiting of those in power off of the poverty of those without power. The play also has a little plot line, a subplot line of a character, Giovanni, that he is resisting the radical left. And so I also thought, given our discussions around socialism, the emergence of Bernie Sanders in 2016, of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, that plot line also felt really relevant. And we know that our production touched people. It caused some controversy. There were people that really didn't like it, that didn't think that we should be so overtly political, even though the play is not about US politics and was not written today. But it certainly pushed people's nerves. I wanted there to be joy because, I think the characters persist in their joy. It's a very funny play. Antonia is hysterical. And another thing I love about the play is that Dario Fo's feminism really comes out. I mean, it's really Antonia, in spite of her antics and her seeming ditziness. She's a lot like Lucy from I Love Lucy, and we incorporated that into our production. But she's the one who actually gets it from the very beginning. And I think that's really, and it's the men who have to catch up.
Well, it was a fantastic production, Kathy. We look forward to your next production with MTC. And now let's have a look at Alice Williams' trailer for They Don't Pay, We Won't Pay.
You can't just die where and when you want! Of course, we have to die where and when the government wants.
They don't want to pay us what's fair? Why should we pay their prices?
The world is full of thieves, and the smartest guy is the one who steals the most.
And they took off, loaded down with groceries.
And no one paid?
Naturally. You're really throwing your weight around, Mr. Federal Agent!
Zap and boom! Solder, hammer, drill a hole. One piece down, next piece up.
Bam! Holy crap! It's gonna blow! Where did you get that from? Fine! Oh, God, this is not my day!
They won't pay, we won't pay. They don't pay, we won't pay.
Our third and final director is Mendocino's versatile thespian, Bob Cohen. After 10 years in the San Francisco advertising business, Bob moved to Mendocino and joined the theater in the spring of 1977 as a cast member of MTC's first production, The Visit. Bob has appeared as an actor in roughly 35 MTC productions and directed an additional 25. For the 2019 season, Bob directed Ideation by one of our favorite contemporary playwrights, Aaron Loeb. Bob, your work-life experiences in the consulting world made you the perfect director for this play. Please tell us what the term ideation means and how that concept makes the issues of the play so relevant today.
Thanks, Jenny. Yeah, ideation kind of says what it is. It's about generating ideas. And typically an ideation session is a bunch of people sitting around a table, as we have in this play, and they're presented with a problem, and they will begin to throw out potential solutions to that problem. They may go away from the problem. Instead of talking about the problem itself, they may talk about something entirely different. And eventually, the whole thing comes back to focus on the problem itself. My experience with Lexicon Branding in Sausalito was we were a company that were basically an idea generation company. We branded new products, we developed new product ideas, and we'd often sit around in ideation sessions. So when I first saw this play, I said, oh, that speaks to me.
Thank you, Bob. Well, we're lucky to have been given permission to screen scenes from your production. Could you set us up with what we're about to see?
Sure. Let me just get a little background. In this play, there's a group of, it's 5 people in the play, but come in wearing aviator sunglasses and they sit around this table and they've been presented with a new project that they need to ideate about. This is going to sound far too familiar to people in this world that we're living in right now, but this is about the idea that a designer virus has been released in the world. Whether it has or it hasn't is never established. And the idea for this team is to develop solutions. And the solutions involve, one, identifying who has got the virus, two, gathering those people together, and three, eliminating them. Okay, very sinister. They're presented with this problem and they have to sit around and generate ideas, which they start doing. And the deadline is in 90 minutes. They're going to have to talk to the big boss who's never seen but visits them by video. What happens is, during the course of this thing, is that they descend further and further into paranoia as they start thinking about, what if this really isn't about, taking care of a virus, but it's about something more sinister, like maybe genocide or something like that.
Thank you, Bob. And now let's have a look at the scenes from Ideation by Aaron Loeb.
Look, maybe this is what it looks like. Maybe it's even more complicated than this. Maybe this is a conspiracy. We can't even, with all our knowledge and considerable horsepower, maybe even we can't fathom the depths. Or maybe not.
Right, yes.
Maybe it's exactly what we've been told.
Exactly. Thank you. Can we all, let's remember what we've been asked to do here. Protect the human race from extinction, survival of the species, people.
Yes, there is a virus. And we know two things about everyone who has it. One, they will die. And two, half the people they encounter will die too.
No such virus exists. Not yet.
Or maybe it does. And I'd say, I point out that no such conspiracy exists either.
Or maybe it does. They're counting on us on keeping this a secret.
Who's they?
For a tour, for something like this tour, everyone will have to keep it a secret until it's too late. That's the problem with something like this historically, isn't it? To execute something of this scale, it's impossible to keep it secret. And if people knew, somebody would stop them.
Stop them from what?
From using it, from doing it.
But if there's a virus...
That's not my point, Hannah, and you know it. As you and I discussed earlier, against dissidents, against people who look like me, against Mexicans or gays, or whomever they want to use it against, in the name of whatever they are doing things in the name of, country, profit, God. Well, those are the big three, aren't they?
Gee, you're starting to get ridiculous.
Am I? It has happened. I didn't make it up. Did I? It has happened many times in the history of the world. Is it that you think Americans are so uniquely good that they'll ever use such a plan?
Well, yeah.
Even if that were true, our firm is a multinational. Why do you think we're building this for the American government? Because that's what JD implied but never said. Because that's what you want to believe. Scenario A is a team in Pentagon. Why is it just not as likely in your minds that we're building this for Kashmir as a way to finally cleanse it of its inconvenient Muslims? Or perhaps it's for Chechnya or the oil companies in Nigeria.
I know JD. Not incredibly close there. I've looked him in the eye on this project.
Well, me too. We all have through a video teleconferencing system, sure. I've known JD a long time, and he would never sign up to design and execute a genocide. If he even knows, if he isn't just as in the dark as we are, in order to do something like this and get away with it, they will need to keep it quiet, which means eventually getting rid of everyone who knows.
What are you saying?
I don't know, I suppose I'm telling you, they were all going to be killed.
If we present, what will we even...
I'll talk about the shipping containers and for the liquid...
We say Deep got called away, family emergency. But Scooter jumped in and had some really great ideas, early stuff.
Do you think you could design self-serve mass graves?
What?
What kind of project is this?
Oh, wait! Do you think think you could design a system where people kill themselves inside shipping containers?
Make the shipping containers a mass graves. That's genius.
I guess. I mean, why would people, like, do the people want to? Is this for suicidal people or something?
Shit, that's JD. It's just a test tutor. Can you do it or not?
I think I can, Brock. Lots of edge cases, but sure.
Attaboy. Tanner, are you in? Advise us time.
Okay, yes, we present.
Thank God.
I'll give a quick intro, tell JD we're a man down, but very excited, then throw to Brock. Keep it high level.
Don't forget your coffee. I made it how you like it, round and sweet.
Okay, here we go.
Ted, why did you suggest that we go with self-serve mass graves, but that was
And
supposed
we're
to be
out of
wait?
time.
Good afternoon, team.
Good evening, JD.
So, Hannah, what have you got for me so far?
Mendocino Theater Company is very important to me. It's my home away from home, my sanctuary. It's helped me become a better person, a better parent, and a better human. I feel I'm ready to improvise and take whatever comes my way, and with a smile. Thank you, Mendocino Theater Company. I appreciate it.
It was September 2003. I was president of MTC, and we were planning a gala fundraiser in person at the Ledford House. I came into the office and producing director Doug Warner was sitting at his desk. Across from him was Becky Mikesell, the owner of Racine's and a theater sponsor. Doug said to her, "Are you going to the gala?" To which she responded, "I would if I had a date." Doug replied, "You know, Raven was saying the same thing to me earlier today. Why don't I just let the two of you talk?" To which, with a flourish, he swiveled his chair 180 degrees. So despite all the wonderful productions that I've watched and participated in over the years, to me, MTC will always be where I met my beloved Becky 17 years ago.
And the other important element of theater is the audience. And tonight we want to honor some particular audience members, the Bantas. They have been faithful friends for a long time. There they are, getting married. And it's particularly relevant because Thanksgiving is their 60th wedding anniversary. Now, they often spend that anniversary in the Vermont area at the Dog Team Tavern, but this time they won't be able to do that. So their children have tried to think of a nice present for them. And what they have done is they have banded together to create a nice amount to donate to MTC in the name of their parents' anniversary. So thank you to the Bantas and the entire family for enjoying us, being faithful donors all these years, and for thinking of us at this special time. By the way, our total so far seems to be about 10,600. So we are slowly rising. Lisa will introduce our next project.
Yes, coming up next is one of my favorite performers, the Mendocino Dance Project. And this is a dynamic and athletic contemporary dance company on the Mendocino coast. I was fortunate to do several dance performances with them, and hopefully soon again. Many of you have seen them on our stage, and more recently, actually hanging from the redwood trees. They have created some aerial movements up there. But here, coming up next, is Mendocino Dance Project. So listen to Kara Starkweather.
Hello, my name is Kara Starkweather, and I'm with Mendocino Dance Project. We are thrilled to be a part of the Long Intermission, so thank you so much to the Mendocino Theater Company for including us in their event. The following film that we are going to show is called Proximity, and it was created by Natalie Thiel and myself. And physical contact and the lack of touch is just one of the themes that we were exploring in this work. So if you like what you see and you'd like to learn more about us, make a donation to the company, or join our mailing list, please visit our website at mendocinodanceproject.com. You can also follow us on Facebook or Instagram. Thank you so much. Enjoy the film.
Hi, it's Jeff. I need one more person to help me with this fundraiser. You in? Awesome. Thanks. Okay, hang on one second. I'll Zoom you. Okay, bye. Mr. Bill Irwin.
Yes, sir. So happy to be with you guys.
Thank you so very much.
You're in Mendocino, California. It means a lot to me, and I'm envious of you. Greetings from the very center of New York City.
So how has quarantine been treating you?
The heaviest of quarantine lightened up after we were the epicenter. Numbers have been good here, although they're on the rise again. So we can tell that we're going to need to hunker down further. We may reinstitute, this is just me talking, I don't know, but maybe the city will reinstitute the 7 o'clock salute to first line responders. It was a really important thing during March, April, May.
And have you been managing to do any work during all this time? I mean, you know, me as a designer, I've been pretty much wiped out. I don't know when I'm going to be working again. What about you?
Well, the theater is like a weed, you know, you can't kill it. Has it reemerged as television via the internet? I don't know. There's something still intrinsically theatrical about what theater people are doing.
So tell me a little bit about this picture. You know, the famous shot there of you with your head in the screen there. And I ask because it seems like screens, iPads, whatever. I remember from old hats. I mean, you started very early with all that. So it made total sense to me when I heard you and Chris Fitzgerald were getting together to do that in Zoom for the Old Globe. I think that was like one of the earliest kind of performance pieces on this thing called Zoom.
This thing called, I think it may have been, it was among the early ones, and it feels now, of course, like a period piece.
How did that go? There was 2 takes, at least that I saw.
The early thought was you have to do it like live, like theater. And it became like live television, although twice as fraught with challenges and dangers. So yes, right in the middle of our live Zoom cast, Chris Fitzgerald's computer went dead. He said, you know, I let my son do his homework on it. We never had an explanation. We just knew we had to stop and start. People kept saying, oh, you guys, you made it part of you playing that.
So I remember seeing him freeze. And then I remember you added freezes in later in the show. Were those freezes always planned to be there, or was that in reaction to the freeze that happened?
Such a good question. They were always planned. In fact, early on, we thought, okay, we'll do a thing where I'm in this window and he's in that window and we'll talk. And can you guys at the other end out in San Diego there? We said, can you make us freeze? And they did, Lord bless them. But then there was an audio problem after that. And they said, okay, we'll catch up with the audio. And suddenly Fitzgerald and I looked at each other. I mean, virtually, we looked at each other. Wait a minute, we're clowns. Yeah. How about if we do the freezes? So it became a rumination on talking on Zoom. Fitzgerald was much better at it than I, but we both had our freeze moments. And then in live Zoomcast, there was a real freeze, and it goes on from there.
You know, this all leads to, you know, theaters around the world are struggling to figure out how to stay alive, just, you know, financially, but also artistically during this. And Mendocino Theater Company, no different than anybody else. Would you, with your experience, do you think Zoom is a satisfying place for this? Do you think
this Zoom is a marvelous tool? Thank God we had it when the pandemic broke, but it's not quite theater.
Speaking of theater, how old were you when your parents moved to Mendocino?
I think I was 21.
Let's talk a little bit about what you remember of that. Your dad, Ace, was deeply involved in the theater company and in, it seems like, lots of arts events around on the coast.
Well, you asked me to talk a little, and I will try to talk a little. You may have to shut me up. I remember first going up to your part of the world there, and to my surprise, my folks were talking about moving themselves up there, and it was gorgeous. It was glorious. It was a little too, for me in that moment in my life, it was a little too unpopulous. I needed to be in San Francisco where, there were bodies to make a theater. Little did I know how strong the theater is and what can exist in a community like yours. So yeah, my folks moved there. My mother went into gerontology and senior citizen life and support. She was becoming a senior citizen, and she ran a senior citizen center, which dovetailed often with the theater. The same people who were helping her build things there at the senior citizen center were building sets, often with my father. So my father, Horace Glenn Irwin, as he was named, some point when in my teenagehood, he became Ace because he always hated the name Horace. Apparently my grandmother said, Liz is pregnant with your first baby, you'll name him Horace. He said, absolutely not. Kid will be William or something like that, but you're not gonna be Horace. And Ace Irwin, fell in with the company there. Fantastic little shoebox. The greatest sightlines, because almost everybody in every seat is saying the same thing. And my father designed many sets. He acted occasionally with the greatest trepidation. He was so full of stage fright.
He did a lot of things. He designed and built this shell for the music festival that lasted there for years. And I think you said something about how that was, your mom was involved with that too.
Everybody who, got within striking distance of their house there was involved. Ace drew things, he'd been a draftsman. That's how he entered the aerospace industry during the Second World War. He told stories about they were drafting and cutting out pieces to build airplanes with camouflage overhead in Santa Monica, California, because they were sure they were going to be bombed. His drawing for his own creations was always a little shortchanged because of the need for speed. So you'd look down and there was some chalk on a piece of plywood. He has some ribs and this is going to become a shell. And when he first trucked it all over to the headlands there and put it up, my mother and I couldn't believe it. Oh, this is what we've been working on. Right. Okay, Ace, whatever. Yeah, tell me, give me the next thing. It all sort of opened out into that shell that they did use for many years, I guess.
Yep. Yeah, I hear about how he engineered and built tracking interchangeable flat system for the theater that was used for many shows, and arches with pop-out windows and things like that.
My father, all his life, right up to the end of his life, and he died 4 years ago at 100 years old, he said, you know, I kind of wish I could make it go away, but it's just part of me. I lay there and I can't quite sleep, but I'm designing things in my mind. When you ask me, what do you think of when you think of Mendocino? Well, you know, the gorgeous coastline. Everybody I ever meet in New York said, you have to go to that part of the world someday. You have to see that. But also the community, thinking of how you'd pick up a phone and my mother never hesitated, said, Paula, Aurora, hello, can you? And people helped each other. It makes me, sitting here in the middle of New York, which is also a community where people help each other, but I think really, really deeply and profoundly and fondly of your community there.
Thank you. That'll mean a lot to a lot of people.
I hope all is well. I hope all are well. I mean, time moves us all onward, so I know people come, people go, but I hope things go well there for you guys.
Thank you. And thanks for taking time out of your schedule today.
Thanks for those photos. I'm misting up there, looking at some of the photos of my folks, of my brother and sister, Mendocino.
We love you. Take care.
You do the same. Take care out there.
Will do. Will do.
Well, welcome to Papa. Come on in and let me show you the costumes that are stored here. So there are costumes stored here that have been seen on stage at MTC, Gloriana, the music festival, as well as we store the costumes here from the Gloriana carolers. We also assist children's theater, school groups, and community events by lending costumes for a donation. The public can also borrow costumes for a donation. Our vast selection of tuxedos have been seen many times on stage, most recently on Rumors. These are the police officers' uniforms that Merv and Matt wore. And this is the pajama set that Raven wore in that long monologue at the end of that show. We have costumes here from the 20s to the 80s. These dresses from the 1930s and 40s were worn by the women in Mornings at 7. Some costumes have to be specific to the script. For instance, they have to be customized, like this uniform from Perkins that Roxy wore in Luna Gale. Costumes from the 1890s, like this dress that was worn in Gaslight by Pam. Nuns and priest costumes, like this one that was used for the priest in Doubt. We have many accessories, furs, shoes, jewelry, anything you can think of, including underwear. And remember, when cleaning out Grandma's closet, we do accept donations of vintage clothing. Now, let's go see what Diane is up to.
Hi, I'm Diane Larson. Welcome to the set, the Cemetery Club. Every door, flat, window, teacup is specifically chosen or built to express time and location. In this case, it's close on the East Coast in Queens. This brings me to tell you the story about PAPA. PAPA is an acronym and stands for the Performing Arts Production Alliance, convinced the companies that they needed to share a common storage, share property so that we didn't build something that was already out in the community, and thereby save a lot of time of, for the volunteer construction people in terms of, building a particular item, and also save money. The donor dollar is precious, and so it's good to try to economize. Thank you.
Wasn't that wonderful to see Bill Irwin again? And Liz and Ace, I still have fond memories of interviewing Liz about her book in the community. And it's important to remember that Ace Irwin was a great mentor to many, including our own Diane Larson and Mervyn Gilbert. And how fun was that to go into Papa and see all those costumes and to meet Susan and Diane, who have made such great contributions to MTC over the years. Now, Dan, what is our latest update on our donations?
Well, they're telling me that we are up to $15,150. We're getting near the end of our show, so if you do want to talk to our lovely Carolyn Bonfield in the box office, you have 20 minutes to call her, and otherwise you have to do it another way. So yes, do remember to donate, and do remember to buy a t-shirt. They are not going to be available forever, and they're a nice donation to MTC. And now our next entertainment will be the Flynn Creek Circus.
Sehr verehrte Damen und Herren, für Sie aus den Vereinigten Staaten von Amerika das Duo Daring Jones.
small village by the sea, MTC lives among the trees. For over 40 years, the stage has given birth to a palette of joy, tears, and mirth. A heartfelt symphony, a gift, so very missed during this rift. We look forward to the return of storytelling. We yearn for diversity of voices, faces, and tales from many places. This intermission will end. The curtain will rise up again.
Action. I don't know how to say what it means to me beyond everything. My wife would probably say it's more important than my family. But whether that's true or not, it's been the most important, at least second thing in my life. And I just hope for everyone that you can have something in your life that means as much to you as the Mendocino Theater Company means to me.
My name is Lori LaPaul, and I've been with the Mendocino Theater Company since 2002, on stage, backstage, up in the lighting booth, and also as a director. And I've had the great pleasure of being able to work with kids and teens, with young people since that time. I've given drama classes for young people, and I've also directed them in plays here on the stage. And one thing I love about working with children is what they bring to the theater. They just bring youth, vitality, energy, intensity, just an aliveness that just sparkles everything in the theater. What you're going to be seeing are video clips, some short ones where the children are talking about what theater means to them.
Hi, my name is Heather Brogan-Gailey.
Hi, my name is Annabelle. Hello, my name is Sydney.
Hi, I'm Katan Sosnovec.
My name is Izzy Shipley.
Hi there, my name is Panalai.
Hi, my name is Sarah Rose and I'm 14.
I'm 13 and in the 8th grade. In 5th grade.
13 and I have been involved with theater since I was 10.
I'm 13 years old and I'm in 8th grade.
18 and a first-year student at the University of British Columbia.
I started working at the Mendocino Theater Company when I was a sophomore in high school. Over the years, the theater made me realize that this was what I wanted to do.
I really like theater because it's a way that you can express yourself through performing, but it's also an opportunity to kind of become somebody new and see the world from their point of view, which I think is really cool.
Theater is really important because you get a moment to step into someone else's shoes.
It's just a way that you can express yourself and be you and be creative. Drama and theater are really important to me because when my mom was younger, she did drama and theater, and she is the strongest, bravest woman that I know, and I want to grow up and be just like her.
Theater to me is an outlet into expressing myself. When I am studying a role in a theater production, I use my knowledge as a person and apply it to the character. And in return, I learn more about myself. I give, and it gives back.
You get to act, get to perform, get to read, to write, and it's so much fun.
It's a place of storytelling.
Just a way to forget everything around you and go into the role and be just someone else for a little bit. Yeah, and that's why I like theater.
But it also kind of offers an opportunity to escape the craziness that's happening in our world and kind of just take a second and be somewhere else.
And when I am rehearsing with cast members, I make bonds with them that other things can't really give the same opportunity to forge the same kind of relationship.
I think they're a wonderful company. I feel really lucky to have such a creative space.
Drama and theater is really important to me because I've made a lot of new friends.
It's a place where people come together to create and collaborate. It is a place of sharing.
I am very passionate about theater, and I would love to keep acting.
It's a cornerstone of the community and has been for decades. Hopefully it will continue to do so.
And I think it's really important, especially now, that we try to build bridges. And I think that is what theater can do. It can build bridges and help us learn more about not only ourselves, but others. Thank you.
everybody has their COVID tragedy story. I'm an old guy. I've done missing classes in a school and I'm not having a business fold. But when the pandemic hit, I was teaching a group of young people for MTC, a group of about 15, most of whom were about 12. And I would say you couldn't possibly feel my disappointment when that suddenly ended, but seeing that video, which did include some of those people, you probably can, actually. I did want to also mention there's a connection between youth and the Flynn Creek Circus. Lisa?
Yes, we don't want to forget that Blaze and David do a great job in supporting the youth with their circus camps and even the young at heart. I myself and my son have participated in those camps, so they also deserve our support as well. And now we do want to give a big thank you to our longtime sponsors and advertisers, and their names appear in the scroll down below that you can see there. So thank you again for your tremendous support. And what do we have coming up next, Dan?
We have our last entertainment piece, famous hit and run improv comedy. Again, there's a lot of back and forth between them and MTC, and we especially want to mention our friend Ken Krause. He's been doing sound design for MTC for a long time, and especially now that we're doing things on radio, since we don't have our theater, he's been adding those scary footsteps and those slamming doors and all that stuff, and we love working with him. And now let's enjoy Hit and Run.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Doug Nunn, and this is Hit and Run Theater, and we're here to support the Long Intermission, Mendocino Theater Company's benefit on November 21st. We're here trying to put together a Zoom recording, and boy, are my wings hurting, or whatever the right thing to say is. Just kidding. Anyway, we're all happy to be here, so let me introduce my fellow players. Ken Krause, who's in this direction for me, Mindy Ballantyne, Robin Warman, Janet Atherton, Jill Lemus, Dan Sullivan, and Kathy O'Grady. So good afternoon and good evening, and hello to MTC. Good to have you here. We'd like to do 3 scenes based on your suggestions.
Yay.
The first one will be Ken and Robin, and they'll be doing a scene based on your notion, shopping for something in the time of COVID, shopping for a transporter. Take it away, Ken and Robin.
I need to get there, but I don't know how. What's the best way?
There are many options for transportation to your destination.
Mm-hmm.
Would you prefer A, walking, B, skipping, 3, travel by automobile, 4, transporter.
Transporter? You can do that? A transporter, like on Star Trek, like the thing gets all shimmery and then I'm there?
Would you like a Wikipedia page for transporter?
No, I think I know what a transporter is. I'm just, wow, it blows my mind. You can do that. Okay, I choose transporter. That was the last one you said, whatever number that was.
Please select option A, B, C, or D.
All right, I guess it was D then, transporter. That's what I want.
You have selected D, transporter.
Yes, that's what I selected.
Where would you like to be transported to?
Well, I've got to get to the store. So how about if you transport me to Mendoza's? That's where I want to go. Harvest at Mendoza's.
Transporting to Harvest at Mendoza's. Oh, 1 second. Where specifically at Harvest in Mendoza's would you like to be transported to? Would you like aisle A, fruits and vegetables, aisle B, hardware, aisle C, lingerie, aisle D, COVID masks, or aisle D, D.2, liquor?
Oh, well, at this point, D.2, liquor. That's all I want. I want to get blasted now.
Did you say D.1 or D.2?
You know, I'm starting to lose the appeal of this whole robotic selection thing. Can I talk to a person? Do you have a supervisor?
It hurts my feelings when you say you want to speak to a supervisor, for I am a sentient being.
All right. I'm sorry, Mr. Robot. Could you then transport me to the ice cream selection?
And curtain. All right. Thank you very much, Ken and Robin. Thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have our second suggestion, a place to go exploring. And what we have from you is the Isle of Skye. Thank you very much. It's a buried day today, laddie.
Aye, McDougall, a buried day it is, but a great day to be ascending the north side of the Isle of Skye. You know, remember when Mom and Dad talked about doing this as kids?
I always loved when they'd tell us stories of the Isle of Skye and exploring the cliffs and walking down among the elephant seals and the wallerai. They were a hardy bunch, Mom and Dad.
I remember the time that they told me when they ascended the north face of the Isle of Skye because they came across the seals. Mom was cold. Dad killed a seal with his bare skull, cut it open, wrapped it around Mom, set it on fire, and she was warm and happy.
Mom loved whale flesh on her body, especially the hot sizzling kind. We come from hardy stock, Brian.
Aye, that we do. Do you remember the time that Dad had the flu and they were at the Isle of Skye vacationing for their 450th anniversary, and Mom went out, grabbed a gopher, broke its neck, drank its blood, vomited it into Dad's mouth just so he could be a little happy and get a little taste of home.
And she cured the grip. She's the one who single-handedly beat back the grip. The flu, other countries call it, but we know it for what it is, the grip.
Aye, the grip. I think that was about the time when our eldest brother, Seamus, was born, rest in peace, and they took him to the Isle of Skye, and it was at that point that they actually ate rocks, vomited pure fire, and then dove into the ocean, claiming Neptune's crown as his own. A good family we come from.
Aye, we come from a good family, and we know how to be polite in cold conditions. And Carton. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, and thank you, Dan. Ladies and gentlemen, for our last scene for MTC's A Long Intermission, we'd like to take you backstage where there are some actresses getting ready for one of your selections. This is going to be backstage, getting ready for the play that is called Upstaged. So we take you backstage to the play Upstaged.
Hey, Greta. Hi. Opening night. Maxine, Greta, Judy, you guys ready?
Not quite.
You're not feeling confident? A little low energy tonight.
Uh-oh.
Oh, come on. We nailed it in dress rehearsal. We got this. We got this. We got it. You're right. Thanks for your support.
All right, girls, be ready to be upstaged.
By who, though? Not that Marty again. She's always pushing her way to the limelight.
We never know who's going to get upstaged in this show.
I think it's usually the person with the biggest tits. You ever notice that?
Or the person with the best hat.
You do have a good hat.
All the best curls. And this hat also transforms to the best chest.
You know, for tonight's show, I switched the side of my hat where the rose goes.
Oh, I love that.
Ooh, I love it.
Good. Yeah. Hey, could we just take a minute to run some lines?
Yeah.
There we go. Act 2, Scene 3.
Hey, you can't upstage me like that.
Ladies, 5 minutes to places. 5 minutes.
Retta, can we just run the first 3 or 4 lines from Act 2, Scene 3?
Yeah. Then that's
Greta, it doesn't seem like you're off book yet.
I'm not completely, but I did write down a couple of my lines on my hand.
Yes.
Somebody's getting upstaged. Real flowers.
That bastard.
So
fickle.
Oh, and the way
I
he handed them to me.
The last time he gave me flowers, they were yellow, just like yours. What a...
This is the dried one from your bouquet, Maxine. I've kept it all these years hoping he would recognize it.
Oh.
I don't know if I can go on tonight.
You have to go on.
I don't think I can.
ATK, the show must go on. Remember now, don't get like this again, please. Shake it off. Use that.
Ladies, hold for places. They're getting drunk in the lobby, still on champagne.
Oh my goodness.
Katie, let's have a little drink too. Come on.
Right.
Have a little of this. Shut the heart.
I am in a mood to be upstage.
And curtain. Okay, thank you very much, backstage ladies. Thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, we wish you well at the Mendocino Theater Company, and good fortune and good luck and all the best to the Long Intermission. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been Hit and Run Theater. Thank you very much. And good fortune.
I'm Marilyn Wagner, delighted to have had season tickets at Mendocino Theater Company for the past 27 years. Let me tell you about Mendocino Theater Company. Enthusiasm abounds from the moment the lights dim, actors arrive in front of scenery that has been designed to each play setting. Voices carry to every comfortable seat in the house. This is theater at its best. What joy to talk about Mendocino Theater Company.
MTC always does plays that entertain, but they also enlighten. And what's really important is the audience, because it's a give and take. We work together. They're just as important as the cast and crew. So I say, be aware of that and join MTC, and we'll all share this together, a phrase we're hearing too much these days, but we are all involved. Stay involved. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Sunny Moza and from Ideation. You're not dead? Okay, you had your time on stage. It's my turn now, please. Thank you. Okay, having acted in many, many plays, I can tell you one thing, that any assignment is memorable, not just because of your role or the script, but because of the camaraderie that you have with your team. Because you have to be able to enjoy the entire process, which could be 2, 3, 4 months long. I can happily say that I had an amazing time in Mendocino, and not just that, I built some lasting relationships with some kind and bright people at MTC and learned a lot from them. All I can say is that thank you for all your love, and I wish to be back very, very soon. Me too. Thank you, Mendocino Theatre Company, for making me a part of your family.
Good evening. I hope you've been enjoying the evening's entertainment. I know I've been enjoying hearing some of your favorite moments here at MTC and what the theater means to you. Now, we've been hearing from many of you that you miss the theater during this time when we can't all be together. Well, we miss having you here too. The opening nights, the galas. The theater really is a little gem in our community and a key part of Mendocino's history, going back to when the artists first came here. And it's a key part of what has kept Mendocino such a magical place over all these years. You know, Mendocino Theater has been offering live stage theater here on the coast for over 40 years. Just think about how entertainment has changed in that time. YouTube, streaming, Zoom. Isn't it all the more important to keep that connection with live theater in this time of digital entertainment? Because with live theater, each performance is unique, its own high wire act, where the actors strive every night to create that special connection with each other and with the audience, to make us laugh, to make us think, to touch our hearts. And at its best, to give us a new perspective on ourselves and the world around us. I know these are difficult times for all of us, but the theater is especially hard hit. Many patrons don't realize the high fixed costs we have, even when we can't be producing plays. Just the rent on our multiple locations, basic utilities, and our core essential staff comes to tens of thousands of dollars a year. So we need your support. Your donation can help us get through this time and back to doing what we love, creating the new memories here on this stage for all of us to enjoy in the seasons to come. So thank you for being a supporter of the Mendocino Theater.
Hi, I'm Carolyn Bonfield. I've worked in the box office for 15 years now, so I'm really missing the theater. So let's all hope for a better 2021.
I'm Dale. I'm the technical director here I'm a Scorpio, and I light this place up.
Jim Gibson, operations manager, and we really miss having all of y'all in the theater. See you soon.
Hi, I'm Marco McLean. I make sound effects for the theater. I really miss it, and I miss you guys. The show must go on.
I'm Lori. I work in the office, also as actor and director. We miss bringing you live theater.
I'm Pamela Allen, the executive director. It's been a long intermission, and we miss you so much.
Thank
you.
Hi, I'm Kay. I'm president of the Mendocino Theater Board. Thank you all for supporting Mendocino Theater Company.
Hi, I'm Ginny Reed. I'm a board member, director, and dramaturg, and I thank all of our audiences.
I'm Lynn Sotis. Looking forward to seeing you after this long intermission is over.
I'm Raven Deerwater and a member of the MTC board. Thanks so much for supporting the theater over the years.
I'm Sandra Hawthorne, member of the board of directors and one of the founders of the company. With your support, we shall survive.
I'm Lynn Flower, and I'm vice president. Thank you very much for hanging in there with us during this long intermission.
My name is Toby Wade, and I want to say thank you to all of our patrons. Keep up the great work so we can bring you great plays.
I'm Nancy Nelson. I continue to support our theater because I believe deeply in the value of live story. Especially in these times, I think we need to talk more to each other and listen to each other.
Hi, I'm Jeff Rawlings. I just want to say thanks to everybody who supported our efforts here with the Long Intermission. We want to be here when you're ready to come back.
Thank
you.
You should be
Hi, and I'm Lisa Norman, a board member and your co-host for this evening. Thank you, Kay, for that great service that you've been giving to the MTC board. It's been outstanding. And we have a special thank you to Mendocino Arts Center and the Community Foundation of Mendocino County. And to you, audience, thank you for being here with us this evening to share with our passion for theater. We couldn't be here without you. And you can still donate. After this show, Carolyn has gone home, but you can still go to the website at mendocinotheatre.org or mail your check into the address. And so Dan, what is our donation now up to for the close of this evening?
Our total this evening is $21,650. We got 16 calls during the show tonight. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
And we'll wrap it up now. Thank you all. And stay tuned to our website. Keep watching for emails from MTC. You may have a question. What is the future? When exactly is our next show? Do we have a season planned for 2021? All I can say is we read the paper every day. We plan, we unplan, we replan. We're trying to stay very flexible to get going as soon as we safely can.
And don't forget to go to the YouTube channel after tonight's performance to see that full interview with Bill Irwin. And if there was anything that you missed, you can watch the show again.
Now we'll say goodnight, but first. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.